Welcome back to my garage. If you're watching this, you know why you're here. The budget Benchmade. Sorry, Benchmade. It's not a real Benchmade, it's a knockoff. I'll take it down to the table. I'll show you its features. So, the budget Benchmade 940. This is the carbon fiber handle. I think that's the 940-2. So this was a Chinese purchase, AliExpress. It cost $55 or $65, which is a pittance compared to a real Benchmade. I actually compared this one side by side with the 943, the one that actually is the spear point. I think that's the 943. And very damn similar. That just had the G10 scales, so obviously weighed a little bit more. The axis lock spring on that was a little bit tighter, a little bit better. But I handed this off to the guy that actually worked at the shop, and he didn't know. Like, he wasn't immediately stricken by the fact that this was not a real Benchmade. I told him, and he was actually a little surprised. So that, it's a guy that actually peddles knives, and he didn't know. So, if you want to get one of these as a status symbol, that's cool. But I always tell people up front, it's not the genuine article, because that's how I am. I just usually think the expensive knives are the good ones. They're expensive for a reason, so why not get the knockoffs that rip off the good ones? They're almost as good, right? Sometimes. It says it's S90V steel. I'm sure it's not. That's one of those compromises. It's probably 440. It sharpened up way too easily. There's always one dull section I can never get sharp. I'm sure that's actually not real S90V, because S90V I've heard is a bitch to sharpen. So, I won't do measurements. I hate measurements. So, here it is next to my busted dish drill. And here it is next to another giant Chinese knife, like the Shiro Gorov clone. And let's see what else I have sitting around here. Here it is next to some fence pliers. And there's my wallet. So there you go. I'm sure if you're watching this video, you've watched plenty of videos reviewing the 940, so you probably already know an actual good scale comparison. I'm not going to take this apart. I took it apart once. It's a pain getting those Omega springs back in there. The little holder receptacle, can't almost see it. There's a little dimple in there that the spring rests in. It's a pain to actually get both in, and then get the metal piece back in the scale, all back together, without the spring popping back out, so I'm not taking it apart again. But phosphor bronze washers and just a little bit of metal. That was actually one of the things I found very interesting about these. These carbon fiber scales only hold that little tiny bit of metal, which is interesting. Interesting design by Osborne. But that's the budget Benchmade 940. As of last time I looked, they only have the carbon fiber ones, which is disappointing, because I actually wanted the original green for whatever reason. I'm not a big fan of the carbon fiber. It's too flashy for me.